we're joined by Eric Mandel, the founder and director of the Middle East Political Information Network, as well as the senior editor for security at the Jerusalem Report. Eric, thanks for being with us on The Rundown today. Seems talks are back on, but there was this delay. And so with this delay, exactly, if they are happening again this weekend, does that mean there is still hope for diplomacy, that this could still work out somehow between the United States and Iran when it comes to the nuclear dilemma?
So I think a little bit is some gamemanship going on. So as we get into the fourth round of negotiations, I think we have to ask some questions. Question one, what is Trump's bottom line? Two, remind ourselves what the Iranians want. And three, what are the key things for American and Israeli national security interests? So what's Trump's bottom line? Is, as he said on one of the Sunday morning shows, dismantling of the Iranian nuclear program? Or is he willing to have a JCPOA 2.0 where he allows them to keep their infrastructure and allows them to enrich? And then it goes back and forth between what his people, Rubio, says and what Witkoff says. Is Trump also, we have to ask, is he willing for a nuclear deal to abandon the Iranian people, to allow them to have a ballistic missile program, to allow them to supply their proxies? As far as Iran's goals, they're pretty clear. They want sanctions relief. They want to retain their infrastructure. They want to stretch out negotiations as long as they can because they know there won't be an Israeli strike and the window of opportunity to attack will decrease. And their strategy is to wait out the Trump administration. And so the key question that we need to ask is, do the Iranians believe that America has a true, credible military threat, despite what's in Diego Garcia with the B-2 bombers, despite THAAD's working with arrows to block anti-missiles coming in? Do the Iranians really believe that? And so I'm not sure, but I think we really need to know, does Trump believe that he has the best leverage right now that he's going to ever have with Iran? Or is he going to make a deal that maybe is unsatisfactory? And maybe the best thing for leverage, and he's supposed to be an amazing transactional negotiator, is to attack Iran, and then you really get leverage. So what's going to happen in this fourth round? The Iranians may be outplaying Witkoff again. We don't know.
Well, Eric, now, if these talks do happen, it's all going to come in the backdrop of these Israeli strikes against the Houthis and Prime Minister Netanyahu claiming that Iran does need to be hit as well. And then we did hear some strong words from Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in response to Netanyahu on social media. He said Netanyahu is directly meddling with the U.S. government to drag it into another disaster in our region. And he also accused Netanyahu of attempting to brazenly dictate what President Trump can and cannot do in his diplomacy with Iran. And so when it comes to this rhetoric, how could that impact some of the talks at all?
Well, I think the Iranians are master negotiators, and I think they believe they can manipulate Witkoff, who has had a little bit of a checkered past after his first success with the hostage releases. I think what he's done with the Russians and Ukrainians, what he's done recently with Iran, with a lot of misstatements and backtracking. I think the Iranians are trying to create daylight between the United States and they're betting between the United States and Israel, and they're betting that America and Trump Trump alone wants a deal and really does not want to use a military threat here. So I hope that Witkoff this time when he goes in and speaks will have the proper advisors next to him to remind him that Iran is an ideological jihadist Shiite entity who does not just want to live in peace with Israel or the world. They have a worldwide agenda, and it is anti-American, anti-Israel, and expansionistic. And when you hear statements from Witkoff that says they just want to kind of live in peace like everybody else does, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, I think that misses the point. But again, we don't know exactly what's going on in the negotiations. But I think the Iranians feel that they have the upper hand on America, which is kind of crazy because America really, for the first time, the leverage that they need.
We'll certainly have to see exactly what does happen if and when those talks do happen. Once again, Eric Mandel, thank you for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure.